All right. Welcome back to Sunday afternoon cat yoga with Baby Monster and me, Carlos. Great to see you all. Great to be seen, as they say. We'll start out sitting cross-legged with our hands to our heart. Just relaxing. Turn your focus inward. So remember, whatever happened earlier today, put it out of your mind. Whatever might happen later, don't even think about it. Just give yourself 1 hour just to relax completely, devote to yourself. And you might find that you get even more out of these sessions if you actually maybe meditated before we even begin. You can also do a little bit of your favorite stretching before we begin, because maybe my warm-ups are not your favorite warm-ups. Maybe you've got some tight area that you want to loosen before we get going. It's up to you. We'll grasp our feet. Inhale, sit tall. And then exhale, fold forward. Relax your spine and your neck. On an inhale, use your arms to help you up because our back's not warmed up yet. Nice deep breath, and then exhale, we'll go into our camel ride, exhaling back, rounding the back, and inhaling forward, arching the back, and looking up. So we'll just go back and forth like this. Little bit at a time. Start out with barely any movement of the spine, and then as the spine warms up, it bends and flexes more. So the set that we're doing today is everyone's favorite, the boat set with all the boats and a few maritime poses. Because remember, India has about like 50,000 miles of coastline. So there's a lot of poses dedicated to the sea and to boats and to the ocean. They don't really have 50,000 miles of shoreline. I'm exaggerating. So let's make a wave out of this. So the wave begins far out at sea and then turns into a big curl and then crashes into the beach, slides back out into the surf, and reforms again. So in the next week or so, I'm planning on some nice surprises for you. I'm planning on a shorter set, which is complete unto itself. So in other words, it works every part of the body, even though it doesn't take quite as long. I'm thinking of a set where there won't be hardly any talking, so that won't be good for beginners, but I'll let you know. It'll be in the title or description. so that you can just follow along with me. And maybe I will add, if there's no talking, I can add music to that set. So if you feel that rolling movement, let's roll it. Let's roll the wave backward. And then I don't want to make any promises I can't keep, but I am thinking about doing a set of chicken yoga. It won't be in here. It'll be outdoors. So stay tuned for that. And we're still finding people who have not seen these videos yet. So if you know anybody that you've practiced with before, but they're not aware of these, let them know for me, please. Or you can send me their email. All right, so our spine is starting to get a little more warmed up. Remember to stretch your toes. As long as we're hanging on to our feet, you can massage the soles of your feet with your thumbs. And then eventually when you get to the front, again, we'll release our feet, lay our hands on our knees, go around in a circle. Why don't we go one way and then the other, sort of like a boat, just rocking gently back and forth. So I'm going to go around in each direction one more time with my arms overhead. And then I'm going to bring my hands back to my heart, do one more of these in each direction. And then hands back on my knees. One more of these in each direction. She's pretending to be asleep, but she's breathing really fast, so she's not asleep at all. Let us, before we refold our legs, let's do a version of a fish pose. I'm going to bring my arms behind me, and I'm actually going to bring them as far behind me. In other words, as close together behind me as I can, opening the shoulders, and then just press up here. Arch your back. One more breath here. Sit back down. Refold your legs the other way. Tuck your feet again. Lengthen your spine again and walk your hands out. Starting on an inhale, you can walk your hands back up. Bring your hands back to your heart. We'll do a few of our twists. Exhaling out to the side, arms wide. Inhale back to center. And exhale to the other side. Sitting nice and tall like the mast of a ship with the cross brace, whatever that's called. I know if you guys were here, somebody would know the name of the horizontal timber. Some people like to bring the arms overhead as their center point. That's always just an option. So let's just do one more to each side. And then after your last one, you inhale back to center, and then exhale and float your arms down. You can bring your arms behind you right away, and then press up. One more breath. Come up as high as you can. And then sit back down. Unfold your legs. We'll do another twist. We'll do half Lord of the Fishes twist. Okay, so watch this carefully because it's reversed when you're looking at me, but this happens to be my left foot. I'm bringing it around, tucking it away. This is my right leg, which is tending almost towards vertical, if I can manage it. And my right foot is to the left of my right knee, if you can see behind baby here. Okay, and then I'm going to twist to my right. So you can keep your arms down. Keep this arm here to hold your twist, looking behind you, or you can bring your arms up, using muscles to hold the twist. Sit as tall as possible. So this pose named for Matsyendranath, the Hindu version of Jonah, who spent a lot more time than Jonah in the belly of a whale. Let's take one more breath on this side. can release your arms down and we'll reconstruct this on the other side. So this happens to be my right leg that I'm sweeping back. My left leg is more or less vertical, and my left foot is to the right of my right knee. Left foot to the right of the right knee. And then I'm going to bring this vertical, and I'm going to twist over to my left, holding everything in place here. So I'm sure I've got it the way I want it. And then when I've got everything the way I want it, maybe I can try to lift the arms. Okay, how about one more breath here? And then release. Excellent. Okay, then how about a half of a forward fold? So my leg's out diagonal, and then this leg's just tucked in here, and I'm going to turn towards this leg, doesn't matter which, and just walk my hands out. So the reason we're doing this one now is this is essentially the same stretch as our compass pose that we're going to do later if we have time. Compass is always the one that we never seem to have time for. So you can see from this, where everything is sitting here, if I was to, when I'm doing my compass pose, if I wanted to get this foot behind my head, that would be the equivalent of me getting my head at least down to the mat, which clearly I can't do today. So that means I'm not going to attempt it later. And even though some things are moved around a little differently, that's one that I'm not going to try that tonight. But anyway, let's come back up and switch sides. Turn towards that leg, line everything up, and then walk your hands out. Boy, she's kind of tired. Look at that. So I'm going to try to remember, if she strikes a pose, we need to strike the same pose. So I keep forgetting. So no matter what it is, if it looks anything like any yoga pose, we'll try to do it. How about one more breath here? And walk your hands back up. And then we'll do our thunderbolts. So we'll do all three. So I start sitting on my feet flat. So remember, I would much rather see this than this, right? So this one's easy for me, so I can do this, but it's no big deal. And then if this part is easy, then you focus on really extending your arms upward, tucking your shoulders in, pressing your palms together, dropping the shoulder blades down. And then we'll try with the toes curled forward. Be even more careful. So again, I'd rather see this than this. This is not really a pose. So when you're thinking of your progressions, remember to try to figure out what is the real spirit of the pose. And we're working on our feet here now, so this part here is unimportant, or it's less important, let's say. So watch, when I curl my toes facing backwards, I'm not even attempting to bring my arms overhead. There's just no point. I'm just, when my mind is back here, I'm really being careful so that I don't overstretch anything. You can move around. So when you're just playing with these poses, trying to work your way into them, you can move around in the pose to try to feel how it feels and help things to stretch and bend. So that's all I'm good for that one. And then I keep on pestering this poor cat. I won't let her go to sleep. Let's do our squat of the day, any sort of a squat that you like. I usually prefer a wide-legged squat. I'll do the garland. So the elbows are on the inside of the knees, palms together. When I drop my palms down, it pushes the knees apart. She's almost in a pose right now. Okay. That's sufficient. Let's hold the mat. Press up to hanging forward bend. If she holds that pose, I might try it. Come up to hanging forward bend. Let's bring our feet out to the sides. So how about not as far as you normally do? I can't do that pose. Let's do Skandasana, shall we? So you can just mirror what I'm doing. I'm going to walk my hands over to one side, and then I'm going to turn outward and sink into my outside leg, and then let that leg get really straight. Turn up this way. Okay? We'll do this a couple times, so don't worry about the first one. Come over to the other side, sink into this leg, plant your hand, turn outward, let the other leg become completely straight. Look up at your hand. So now I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to try to not take so long to walk my way over. And maybe float over. So float like a boat, maybe. If I remember correctly, if we do one more on the other side, that'll be an even number. If I'm wrong, do whatever you need to do to even up. Same number on both sides, and then return to straddle. my notes back. She's got my notes. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Let's, if you want, you can lower your head down to the mat now. You could walk your feet out further sideways if you felt like it. Aww. Can you hear her purring? Did you hear that? Walk your feet in slowly. We can slowly come back up to standing. And you can have a water break if you want now, but we know that we will have a nice long break at the end of this segment, at the end of the first half. So I'm going to do, let's do our starfish pose. And we'll do our triangle. So turn both feet. If you can just mirror me if you want, turn them in the same direction that I'm turning them. And then remember our triangle, we're not going to bend the leg. You're just going to, I'm going to go a little wider, I think. I'm going to go a tiny bit wider. And then we're going to just ease over and down. Come down as far as you want. And then look up at your hand. Twisting. So you notice that's not her mat that she's destroying. That's Banu's mat. So to get up from here, you could certainly lower this top arm down to the floor and climb up your leg, or we could try our relaxation method, which means we know where we want to get back up to, which is the star. So our goal is pretty clear. And then to get back up there, you just relax completely and just let your body bring you back up there without struggling, without attempting to use any one particular muscle or muscle group, because your body knows how to do it and your mind doesn't really have to get in the way. So let's turn to the other side, turn both feet, look in that direction, and then remember, keep the legs straight. Whenever you're ready, ease over and down. When you get down as far as you think you're going to get, think about looking up at that top hand. So again, it's perfectly okay to drop this hand down and climb up your leg. There's no problem with that at all. You can also just pull upward with this hand. It's another method. But the relaxation method is really interesting. But remember, if you don't relax, it won't work. You have to relax completely and then allow your body to bring you back naturally. Before we come in, we'll pull our arms back, open the chest and heart as wide as they go. And then to come in, I'm going to see if I can hop in so gracefully as not to disturb poor little baby monster. So we'll see if I can do it. It didn't work at all. All right, let's do our balance. Okay, so this balance has some stability inherently in it because we're going to sink down, right? So this will do a version of the Bikram awkward pose, but we'll do it with our nautical theme. We'll do it from China. There's a pose called Buddha Holds Back the Ocean. And they have a series of postures that are similar to, well, anyway, we won't get into that. It's just like this. Sink straight down. So I'm trying not to tip forward or back. My back is flat, pulling up through the crown point of the head while I still sit down. So I'm sitting down and pulling up and also sinking down. Okay, everything's all set. So holding this basic shape, don't hold it with tension, just hold it with structure, and then rise up onto your toes. All right. How about we'll stay here until I come down, which might not be too long. Uh-oh. But see, I'm not going to struggle. When it's my time to come down, I'm going to come down as gracefully as possible. Okay. I'm going to put us out of our misery, I'm going to come up even higher. So I'm sinking. Oh, okay. That's it. Okay, great. So let's see. Do we want to do... I tell you what. Let's take our break right now, and then we'll come back and do the second half. All right. Thank you very much. See you shortly.